Hello, great people. Interesting time in Lagos State as the long-term Speaker Mudashiru Obasa has been impeached and his deputy Mojisola Meranda has been sworn in as the new Speaker. Mudashiru Obasa is a six-term, again I repeat, six-term member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, and he has been Speaker of the Lagos State House since 2015. That was during the sworn-in of Akinwumi Ambode, the governor of Lagos State that used one term before he was kicked out of office. Now, what he did, they say that Obasa did to warrant his impeachment. What is the dynamics of Lagos politics at the moment? What is the 2027 factor? Is there a Tinubu factor in all this? Whether the Tinubu of the father or of the son? It's an interesting day to discuss Lagos politics, and we'll be doing that and a whole lot more on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omoshola. So Mudashiru Obasa was impeached as the speaker according to what his colleagues said, because something must be said before you can remove a speaker, and he was unanimously impeached. About 90% of the members of the Lagos State House of Assembly support the impeachment, and they said he was being impeached for gross misconduct and abuse of office. That is what he said. But what are the unsaid things that Obasa had done? Again, what they said is gross misconduct and abuse of office. But the unsaid is the ego of Obasa and the 2027 politics. And that is where we'll be doing some in-depth analysis at this point in time. You see, Mudashiru Obasa is somebody that has enjoyed unusual grace from Bola Tinubu. It's not everybody that have that kind of grace. And I can tell you for free, those who know the politics of Lagos State will tell you that you cannot be anything meaningful, you cannot be anything reasonable in Lagos State if you don't have the anointing from the source. And who is the source, or what is the source? That is Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu has firm grip on Lagos State. Even Sanwo-Olu will not dare to mess with Bola Tinubu because he has strong hold on the state. So he is the big tree. And some of all these guys that used to flex muscle, the Sanwo-Olu, the Obasa, those are just the branches. And Bola Tinubu still holds the strong grip. But Obasa haven't become politically matured, haven't spent 6 time in the House of Assembly, which is unusual great, because do you know how many people are lobbying to be on the floor of the Lagos State House of Assembly? If you are on the floor of Lagos State House of Assembly, it's as if you are in the national parliament of some countries. That's how it is, because Lagos itself, with over 20 million population, is like a country on its own. Lagos population is more than that of some African country. But when Obasa became the speaker in 2015, and Obasa, has made money, he has strong influence as the number 3 man in the state, and things were going well for him, Obasa was becoming ambitious. But then, when they sacked Ambode from office, they were to remove Obasa, but Obasa enjoyed unusual grace, because when Ambode was flexing muscle with Tinubu, Obasa was cooperating. Obasa was ready to impeach Ambode even from the word go. All he needed at that time was for Tinubu to just give him the go-ahead, that go and impeach that boy, and that is the end. By fire, by force, Ambode would have been booted out of office. But when they ease Ambode out, they believe that if they now decide to ease Obasa out, it will be unfair that, okay, you change the speaker, you also change the deputy, you change the governor, you also change the speaker. And like I said, Obasa was very cooperative. He was very loyal to the Tinubu camp and the Lagos boys under Tinubu during the issue of Ambode. But Obasa himself, having returned during the time of Sanwo-Olu, was still cooperating. But Obasa believed that he is now a big boy, that everybody is advancing. Baba has advanced to become president. He too is a member of the inner caucus. What is wrong if he becomes a governor? But Obasa did not play that game, to use street parlance, with sense. Obasa was being overly smart about it, because he created something like a group that he will use to further his governorship ambition, but he did not receive clearance and order from source. You see, in Lagos, if you want to do anything political and you don't want to find yourself in trouble, you have to receive order and clearance from the source. If not, you find yourself in trouble. But Obasa believed that he is smart. He created that group And you know, the political watchers in Lagos State, they are beginning to see the handwriting on the wall, and they were cautioning him, but Obasa was flexing muscle. Then the problem started. Obasa made a statement when Sanwo-Olu presented budget. Some of you that have seen the video, Obasa, we want to host the governor. You and your loyalists on the floor of the house, you are wearing black shades as if you guys are mourning. So why are you wearing black shade when you want to host a governor? It's like Tinubu now want to present the budget, and the National Assembly, the principal officers and their leaders, they are now wearing very dark shades. That is unusual. That itself sends some strong signal that the man is unwelcome. Then Obasa now made some statement that land him in trouble during that particular plenary, whereby he said that people have been rumoring that he has governorship ambition. Well, if they are making that rumor, it's not that he is not qualified. And this is one of the statements that put him in trouble. He said, those who have been governors were not better than him. You then make such a statement in the Lagos of Jagaban. So what you are trying to say is that those who have been governors were not better than you. So if we place it in context, that means that Sanwo-Olu is not better than you. They can let that fly. That means that Ambode is not better than you. They can allow that. Fashola is not better than you. It's okay. But have you forgotten that the source, Tinubu, was also a governor? So when you want to make that statement, why don't you exclude Tinubu, that most of you that have been governors that have been governors since 2007 are not better than me? Then, you may not have hurt the Tinubu boy. But for you to say those who have been governor, that means including Tinubu, that means that you are gaining effrontery, such unusual effrontery. You can have it in other states. You can flex such muscle in other states. But in the Lagos of Tinubu, how dare you? You dare not. It comes with serious consequence. Then Obasa now made another statement. He said they should be careful because those who live in glass house do not throw stones. What are you trying to say? What does that statement mean? And the truth is, Sanwo-Olu has learned from what happened to Ambode. So if you hear Governor Waka like this, that is Sanwo-Olu, because he has learned from what happened to Ambode, and he knows that if he is not careful, they will remove him instantly. And the power, the privilege, the opportunity, the benefit that comes with being the governor of Lagos State is enormous. In fact, it can be equated to that of all these small countries in Africa. So Sanwo-Olu, when he got into office, he was doing the waka like this. So he has good relationship with the source. But Obasa was beginning to flex muscle, nursing gubernatorial ambition, despite he hearing from, the street or from the political inner circle that SEYI Tinubu is interested in becoming governorship. So who are you? How dare we give you an opportunity to be speaker? And you are hearing that SEYI Tinubu is allegedly interested in being the governor, and you did not come and receive clearance. You are building your own structure, you are flexing muscle, you are feeling holier than thou. Is it not you? You that you have case with EFCC, you will recall that there was some point that the EFCC was following Obasa everywhere. They want to apprehend him for alleged fraud. And now the problem for Obasa is that he is allegedly not in the country, has been reported that he is in the United States, but because he was allegedly impeached for gross misconduct and abuse of office, that they did one Thanksgiving and he allegedly spent 200 million. Then they said he built a gate for 17 billion, and he said no, that these people are only afraid of me because of 2027. So that means that he by saying that, by making that statement, he himself has agreed that he has an ambition in 2027. So now that they have based his impeachment on gross misconduct and abuse of office, definitely if Obasa comes into the country, definitely the EFCC may be against him. And in these days of Tinubu, if you are a Tinubu boy, if EFCC come against you, there's nobody to save you, because they will obey whatever the president wants. They serve at the beck and call of the president. You know how EFCC was operating during Obasanjo's time. So EFCC, they will do as the president wish. And the president himself may not even have Obasa's time, but his key people that Obasa is now in their bad books, they will apparently deal with Obasa. So don't be surprised, fellow politicers, if Obasa is picked up by EFCC sooner or later, and if he finds himself in detention, and if he is also going through the travails of Emefiele, don't be surprised, except if Obasa knows how to go and prostrate despite his impeachment and go and make peace with the people that he's supposed to make peace with, else he will find himself in trouble. So the State House of Assembly, the colleagues, the honorables there, they said he was impeached for gross misconduct and abuse of office. But as I have analyzed for you, the two main things that led to Obasa's impeachment, the unsaid things that led to his impeachment, is that ego, that you are deviating from the source. Then over ambition, if you can, if I can call it like that, or you can call it the 2027 politics, that how dare you form a group. Then also the executive legislature relations. Last year, Obasa had the effrontery to turn down the nominees of Sanwo-Olu. You will recall, some of you that are adherent follower of politics and happenings in the polity in Nigeria, that when Sanwo-Olu was sworn in for his second term and he sent nominees, commissioner nominees, to the State House of Assembly, Obasa flexed muscle by turning down some of those nominees. And in Lagos State, you don't just send nominees to the State House of Assembly. The governor would have sat with some elders in the state. Approval would have come from the source, which is, the Tinubu camp, whatever Baba wants. So it is believed that anything that is sent to the State House of Assembly, so long as the Tinubu and his key allies do not object to it, you are expected to pass it. But Obasa was flexing muscle, and he has been having this alleged strained relationship with the governor. And Sanwo-Olu, as I said, that Governor Wakajeje knows how to play his game, and that was what eventually led to Obasa's removal. You see, one thing we need to say, you can hate Tinubu, right? He has his flaws, he has his bad side, but one thing is that Tinubu loved Obasa. You see, and I need you to confirm this for the people that knows Lagos politics very well. Once Tinubu loves you, it is very rare for you to see that kind of love. But once he loves you, everything will fall into place. And I'll give you an example. Obasa spent 6 terms in that House of Assembly, and he has been Speaker since the last 10 years. That means that Obasa has enjoyed the role of the number 3 man for 10 years. And there was a time, I think it was during the time of Ambode, that they went to report Obasa to Tinubu. And when they got there, Baba allegedly said that, go and resolve with Obasa, because I cannot teach Mudashiru, that is his name, Mudashiru Obasa, how to run his assembly. Imagine that kind of grace. Tinubu may be bad, but for him to give you the opportunity to be the speaker, which it should not be in a democracy, it should be by popular vote, but it is what it is in Nigeria. But for you to enjoy that kind of grace, and for Tinubu to make such comment about you, just as he recently made about Wike, when Ruben Abati was saying, oh, Wike is a political liability, because Tinubu is currently in love with Wike, and that's how Tinubu is. That's who Tinubu is. He said, Wike is a good man. I doff my heart for him. So in Lagos, once you enjoy the grace of, and there are people that have enjoyed it. Femi Gbajabiamila, the current chief of staff to the president, is one of those that have enjoyed such immeasurable grace. Another person that have enjoyed it is Senator Abiru, something like that. Yes, Senator Abiru. When the senator was to contest, he resigned his job, and there were about maybe 13, 14, 15 people loving for that position. But Tinubu just picked him and said, let him be. And in Lagos, there are 2 things that you must not do, which is for you to be disloyal or to be disobedient. 2 key things matters in Lagos. If you want to remain at the source, wait for your time. It will get to your turn. But for you to be disloyal or to not be obedient, then you find yourself in trouble. And that's why the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa had been booted out. But if they booted out, how is the lady that is now the first female speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly will climb that position? But watch out, this is not the end of it, because 2027 is going to be interesting, and there will be more to come in the politics of Lagos State in the days ahead. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science, and this is where we relax to dissect politics and happenings in the politics. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.